What if I told you that for under 10 grand, you could own a motorcycle with a screaming inline-four engine, fully adjustable race-spec suspension, and a red line that keeps climbing past 15,000 RPM, all wrapped in bodywork that looks like it just rolled off a world Superbike grid? You'd probably say I'm lying. Well, buckle up, because the 2025 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-4RR ABS is very real, and it might just be the most exciting thing to happen to the 400cc class in decades. Welcome back to Moto Metrics. Let's get into it. So before we even talk specs, let's just take a second to appreciate what Kawasaki actually did here. When rumors started circulating back in late 2022 that they were bringing a 16,000 RPM four-cylinder 400cc sport bike to the US market, most people in the industry straight up laughed. Too expensive, they said. No market for it, they said. Kawasaki's response? Hold my beer. And here we are. Now let's talk about what's powering this thing, because honestly, this is where the ZX-4RR earns every bit of its name. Under that aggressive full fairing sits a 399cc liquid-cooled DOHC inline four-cylinder engine. 4 cylinders in a 400. That alone should tell you Kawasaki is not playing games. The engine pushes out 56 horsepower at 11,500 RPM with 27 pound-feet of torque. And before you start doing the math in your head comparing it to bigger bikes, just stop, because in a package that weighs under 415 pounds, those numbers hit completely different. This isn't a bike you ride, it's a bike you experience. And here's something that'll really bake your brain. The engine development draws directly from Kawasaki's World Superbike Championship-winning ZX-10R and the ZX-6R. So when you're ripping through the canyons on this thing, you're benefiting from technology literally forged on racing circuits at the highest level of the sport. That's not marketing fluff. That's genuinely wild. But okay, raw power is one thing. How does it actually feel to ride? Let me paint you a picture. You crack the throttle open somewhere around 8,000 RPM and the bike just wakes up. The exhaust note shifts from a pleasant rumble to this high-pitched, almost angry mechanical wail as you chase that 15,000 RPM redline. It's addictive in a way that larger twin-cylinder bikes simply cannot replicate. It's the kind of sound that strangers at gas stations walk over and ask what it is. Consider that your warning. You will never have a quiet ride again. Now here's where it gets interesting, and this is the part a lot of reviews skip over. The RR in the name isn't just for show. The ZX-4RR ABS is the top spec model in the lineup, and it earns that designation through some seriously impressive hardware. You're getting a 37mm Showa SFF BP inverted front fork with adjustable spring preload, plus a Showa BFRC light gas-charged rear shock with a piggyback reservoir, both fully adjustable. That's the kind of suspension setup you'd expect on bikes costing significantly more. Up front, you've got twin 290mm semi-floating discs clamped by radio mount 4-piston monoblock calipers. In the back, a 220mm disc with a single piston caliper. The stopping power on this machine is, and I'm not exaggerating, head and shoulders above anything else in its class. Speaking of class, who exactly is this bike for? And here's where things get genuinely interesting, because the answer might surprise you. Obviously, this is a machine for intermediate riders who've outgrown entry-level bikes and want genuine performance without the intimidating weight and power of a full 600cc supersport. But it's also for experienced riders who want a track day weapon that won't throw them into the barrier the first time they make a mistake. And believe it or not, it's also for commuters in metro areas who want something agile and exciting without babysitting a 400-pound leader bike through traffic every morning. The ZX-4RR genuinely covers all of those bases, and that's rare. Now let's talk electronics, because this is 2025 and a bike at this price better bring the goods. The ZX-4RR does not disappoint. You get Kawasaki Traction Control, or KTRC, with 3 selectable modes. You get dual power modes to tune the throttle feel to your preference. You get the Kawasaki Quickshifter, or KQS, which works in both directions, meaning clutchless upshifts and downshifts at wide open throttle. Let that sink in for a second. bidirectional quickshifter on a 400 for under $10,000. There's also ride-by-wire electronic throttle valves, an economistical riding indicator, and a 4.3-inch full-color TFT display with smartphone connectivity via the Rideology app. Oh, and of course, ABS. The whole package is rounded out by an assist and slipper clutch that keeps the rear wheel from hopping under aggressive downshifts. Track riders, you're welcome. So how does all of this translate on the road? The chassis, derived from the same high-tensile steel trellis frame architecture that inspired Kawasaki's World SBK geometry, keeps the ZX-4RR planted and commutative through corners. Caster angle, swing arm pivot point, weight distribution, all of it was dialed in with circuit performance as the priority. But the long-style swing arm also smooths out the chassis behavior for street riding, so it doesn't beat you up on a 2-hour canyon run. That balance between sport and street manners is genuinely impressive and something that takes most manufacturers years to get right. One thing worth noting, if you're expecting the low-end grunt of a twin-cylinder bike, you won't find it here. The ZX-4RR is a high-revving machine by design. Below 5,000 RPM, it's docile, almost polite, but that's not where this engine lives. You have to commit to the rev range, you have to let the engine breathe, and when you do, that's when it rewards you in a way that is genuinely addictive. Think of it less like a torque monster and more like a precision instrument. It asks something of the rider, and when you deliver, it absolutely delivers back. Alright, let's talk money, because at the end of the day, a bike that's good on paper means nothing if it breaks the bank. The 2025 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-4RR ABS comes in at an MSRP of $9,699 plus a $650 destination charge. For the KRT edition in those iconic Kawasaki racing team colors, you're looking at $9,700. For what you're getting, the engine, the suspension, the electronics package, the braking hardware, that pricing is frankly competitive. You'd spend more for less on several bikes in this displacement neighborhood. Fuel economy sits around 49 miles per gallon with a 4-gallon tank, giving you a realistic range of around 165 to nearly 200 miles between stops. Perfectly usable for daily riding without constant gas station visits. So where does the 2025 ZX-4RR land in the big picture? It's a bike that punches so far above its displacement that comparing it to other 400cc options almost feels unfair. Kawasaki took the spirit of the legendary Japanese 400cc sport bike wars of the late 80s and 90s, injected it with modern technology, modern safety electronics, and modern build quality, and wrapped it in a package that looks and feels like a genuine superbike. The result is something that's exciting for beginners to aspire to, satisfying for intermediates to own, and fun enough for experienced riders to keep in the garage just for track days. The ZX-4RR isn't perfect. The aggressive ergonomics will wear you out on long highway stints, and that high-revving character does demand rider involvement. But those aren't flaws, those are features. This bike was never meant to be a couch on wheels. It was built to make you a better, more engaged rider every single time you throw a leg over it. And that, at the end of the day, is what a great motorcycle should do. If you're seriously considering the ZX-4RR and want to know how it stacks up against other options in the supersport space before you write that check, I've got you covered. The video queued up on your screen right now breaks it all down. Hit that, and I'll see you there.